Hi, Dr. Sorois with Mystical Professor. Getting on here real quick to tell you how to contend with difficulties and challenges while manifesting. That seems to be, everyone's greatest hurdle, and I'm no exception. That's how we learn, that's how we expand, that's how we grow. So that being said, the first step that I recommend doing is to regulate your nervous system. Okay, calm yourself down. Like I said, take some deep breaths and calm yourself down. That's the first thing that you do. The second thing you want to do is take your attention off of those challenges and tell yourself who you are. Remember who you are. You're a spirit having a human experience. Remind yourself, okay? That's important. Your I amness is greater than anything out there. And remember, it's only a fear, a worry, a doubt, in a situation. The circumstances don't matter unless you want to shift, and that's the thing. Remember, what has your attention grows or magnifies. So you don't want to shift your awareness and attention on that you don't want. You can coexist with your challenges, difficulties. You're labeling them as that. Remember, you give everything meaning. So if you're saying it's a difficult situation or that it's a challenge, rephrase that. There's no challenges. Everything works out quickly, easily, and effortlessly for me. Remember, this is your reality. There's 9 billion people in the world. There's 9 billion different realities. This is your reality. You choose, you decide. You're the operant power. You are a deliberate manifester. You are a deliberate conscious creator. So it's important to remind yourself who you are, so that you don't, because you want to take that power away from any challenge or difficulty that you have considered to be challenging or difficulty, and redefine it. Give it a good meaning. This just means I have my desires. Okay? That's how I deal with it. Besides the fact that I remind myself that I already have that which I desire. And then I'll go back to meditating, affirming, scripting, visualizing, or an inner conversation, that is an imaginal scene embodying my desired fulfilled, or even after. So I want $50,000, or I require $50,000. You cannot, whatever you do not put any kind of restrictions or any kind of time. Remember, time doesn't exist. Creation is finished. You're here to have pleasure, desire. God wanted us to experience desires and manifesting. That's what you came here for, as well as to remember who you are. Your spirit having a human experience as you awaken to the being that you really are. I have done that. I know who I am. Sometimes you gotta nudge yourself. Like I said, you can also tell that these challenges or obstacles that you have labeled that it doesn't matter. I'm still getting what I want. And remind yourself again that you have it, and embody that state. Even if it means taking a break for a few minutes, breathing it back into fruition in your mind, because this is the true reality. Your imagination is the true you, your consciousness. This is a dead neutral world. This is what your experience is old today, is the old news of who knows how long ago. I don't know. Because as I've told you, the vision has its appointed hour. It will ripen, it will flower. And I also have created there's a live that explains how to cope with the 3D while manifesting, that I collaborated with Pierre Eddy about. Please take a look at my live. But if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. This is how I cope with the physical reality. If I consider something challenging or a difficulty, I remind myself there's nothing challenging, there's nothing difficulty. Another way to look at it is that God brings difficulties and challenges so we can expand and grow. It's in the Bible that He will never give you more than you can handle. Okay, remind yourself again who you are, and know I did it. I'm going to continue to do it until that which I've done has materialized in my reality. Just like Neville said, the hand came down, and when he had the vision from God, the hand came down and crossed out disapproved and scratched approved. What I have done, do nothing. You are to do nothing. You will literally walk into your manifestation, your desire, okay? You are not to take any action. And if you're putting time limits on things, you're just creating more resistance, and that's what you don't want. All right, that's why I came on here. If you're experiencing resistance, tell yourself, no, I don't experience any resistance. You're the one defining it as these things. Reprogram your mind, like I said yesterday. See that video, how to reprogram your mind. You are a limitless being. Let me remind you of that. Okay? So challenges now. What challenge? No, I have what I want. And I get it easily, instantly, and effortlessly. Remind yourself of that. And like I said, go back and do the steps that I've told you. Make sure you're going to the end, because the acceptance of the end wills the means, or after the end. Remember to give it all the tones of reality that you possibly can, even if it's an inner conversation on your cell phone. And embody the emotional state. Have the heart and mind or brain alignment. Coherence is another word. Brain, heart, coherence is key. That way, because then when you have coherence, you're opening yourself up to receive. You remember, the Lord is your shepherd. Thou shalt not want. You have everything. All you have to do is put your awareness on it. So that's what I recommend for coping with the physical world and, contending with something that you consider as difficult or challenging. Nothing's challenging for you. You're a master. You know what you're doing. Remind yourself of that. Do not care. Walk as though it's done. I just re-uploaded a short of Neville Goddard's breathing technique. And what he did, like I've shown you before, is he worked himself up. He would sit down and immobilize the body, like I said, state akin to sleep, right before a nap. He took, obviously, several naps a day. And imagine you hearing that which you want to hear, even if it's a congratulation, or you saying thank you. And give it all the tones of reality. Feel emotionally what you would feel. You have to feel it. Because when you're in alignment with the emotion of your desire, you're going to magnetize it even faster. It has no choice. The universe, God, has no choice but to give it to you. At the very least, just walk around embodied in a state of happiness, love, gratitude, peace, harmony, okay, joy. And then what you're going to do is let go, surrender. Like I told you, it's not your job to predict how it's going to unfold or how it's going to come about. That's God's job, or universe. As we're told in the Bible, his ways and thoughts are higher and past our knowing. Believe you have received it and you shall. Stay devoted. Neville was released from boot camp, Fort Polk, Louisiana, just a few days after the hand came over and said, do nothing, after it approved. Okay? If the other way you can also cope with these issues is remind yourself of something that you positively and instantly and easily and effortlessly manifested. That's what I do. No, I know I'm powerful because I've done this, this, and this. Oh no, I know I'm a mystic because I've seen vision. I've had visions. I've had synchronicities. I have had dreams where, like recently I had one that said that there's power in the now, and that's how I'm going to end this. When facing challenges and difficulties, or that you've labeled as such, or circumstances that you don't agree with or want, they're opposing what you're trying to accomplish, they're there because they're forging the pathway for you. Remind yourself of that, okay? But the key is to, like I said, remind yourself who you are and what you've done. At the very least, go back to affirming, visualizing, and reminding yourself who you are. Because they're meant to happen. They're helping you grow and expand to the true being that you are. I was going somewhere with this and I forgot. You can laugh at me. But I was going to tell you something else, and I'll probably remember later. But once it's done, it's done. You just validate inside. Stop looking out there for evidence, because the evidence always follows. Okay? We never precede our evidence. Like I always tell you, the man didn't go to the moon first. Everything out here was first imagined, and then it showed up. That's how you remind yourself. That's what I was telling you, is that remind yourself of all the positive things you've manifested, okay? Give yourself that credit. That's how easy this is. It's super easy, and remind yourself of that. Hopefully this helps. I will be going live eventually, like I said, with Purity. I'm not sure a date, time yet. I will get back to you. I just want you to find the best method or remedy to cope. Laugh at it. No, I already decided that I'm getting this. I sometimes laugh at it. You see me always laughing, that's what I do. I'm not saying make a spectacle. You can coexist with whatever's going on out here, because you know where the real world is. The kingdom of heaven is within you. You're bringing the unseen to the seen world. You have yourself a wonderful day. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, because I am your favorite YouTube professor, here to tell you the truth, because science backs up every single thing I just told you. Stick with it. Mobilize that body. See it to be real. Feel it to be real. Have your body aligned. Remember to breathe. And do not look for it, because that means you come from a state of lack, and you're going to have it. It has no choice. It has to conform, and remind yourself of that. Remind yourself who you are. You're the best of the best. You're pure love, because you came from love. Okay? Everything you touch turns to gold. Take care. Love you all.